Today's challenge, you'll be working with these. Brand new tools. What do you think, Shane?
It's looking a little rough there.
All right, it's not rough enough because this is forged in fire.
Now we're talking.
What the hell am I supposed to do with this?
Your first challenge is to take at least one of these old materials and combine it with one of these new tools and to forge your blade in your signature style. The blades themselves must fall within the following parameters. The length of the blade, not including the tang, must be between 10 and 12 inches. The overall length of your weapon must not exceed 22 inches. Your 3-hour forging time starts now.
And here we go.
Harry's the only guy that's thrown steel into the fire right
That's a
away.
good idea.
Get it out.
If you're gonna use that crowbar, you're gonna have to turn it into bar stock.
Shane, you went over and spark tested that metal.
That's a good idea. The more complex the spark, the more likely you have a high carbon steel.
My biggest weakness is I'm colorblind. So a lot of times I have a little bit of trouble with the heat treat, but after 42 years of being a farrier, my biggest strength is experience and the ability to forge.
Shane is like a machine.
I'm able to look through that piece of steel and see a finished project.
Look at this guy go to town over here. Who needs a power hammer? I got a Shane. Mike has just pulled out that entire axe head.
Clean out the inside, slip something in there, weld that all up, and you got a nice chunk of metal.
I haven't done this big of a forge weld of two different materials.
I'm worried a little bit about the time just because of prepping all the material, but if this weld goes good, I should be clean to just hit the hammer and sail on.
When my fiance proposed to me, I told her that we couldn't get married until I made a suit of armor. If I win the $10,000, I would make an actual full medieval plate mail, the helm, the pauldrons, the whole shebang.
Chisel, crowbar, crowbar.
The most important part about using recycled materials is to get that forge weld. So I'm most nervous about that crowbar. I have no idea what that is made out of.
We have a prepped billet. Heading
Handle,
for the
all right.
fire.
Now that I've got the mild steel bit inside the axe, I'm willing to try forge welding with the power hammer to draw it out faster.
I really don't want this to go squirrely on me.
I think I was a little premature jumping on the power hammer.
That was a separation.
As I'm drawing this billet out, I cannot get the damn thing to stay. The ends keep separating. I'm forced to re-weld and lose material and re-weld over and over.
He doesn't have enough steel to make a knife. It's not too late to start over.
Well, that ain't good. I got a big crack in it.
That MIG weld in the middle is starting to come apart.
Half of that is basically useless.
I'm just banking on the fact that one side of this will be enough to make the blade.
Son of a bitch!
The blade I'm making, a Copus, looks like the predecessor to the Falcutta. And the Falcutta, well, doesn't have the same kind of handle details. What I really like about the Copus is the way it reaches in between your fingers. There it is.
When you separate your fingers, it's not a good thing. A good solid grip is when you have your fingers together. When you separate them, you weaken the grip.
You have just 20 minutes remaining.
So the initial quench, being colorblind, it's always an issue.
I don't know what he's doing, but he would.
I'd quench right now.
I've done it long enough that I learned the colors, but not in a well-lit shop.
There you go.
All right.
Our first quench.
The blade seems to be fairly hard. Now I have to be careful not to overheat that on the grinder.
It's not taking off a little bit of metal. That's like, we're gonna grind some
it looks
things.
Harry's blade's in the quench. Andy's blade looked really cold going into that quench.
The edge looked red, but there was a lot of gray.
Mike might be right in that 10-inch range. Everybody else's blades are so long, and he's got that smaller tang, but he might make it.
I've got it into knife shape, but there's only a handful of minutes.
Mike has quenched.
It flash burned I've lost the hardness. It's self-tempered.
Put the lid on.
I have to do this again to finish.
5 minutes.
No!
You have only 5 minutes remaining to finish your work.
He lost his blade in it.
Mike's blade is laying at the bottom of the oil barrel right now.
It's too hot and too deep for me to stick my arm in, and I don't even know if the thing broke when it hit the bottom.
That's when the magnet comes in handy.
Yeah.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop your tools. Your 3-hour forging window has closed.
Bladesmiths, your challenge was to combine old steel with new steel to make a signature blade of your own design. Shane, please present your blade to the judges.
I really like your process. It shows experience. You got a little bit of a hooey, this dreaded 2-inch mark on this side. Shouldn't be too much to get out.
Feels good to the hands. The process of watching you was masterful. Nicely done, sir.
Harry,
All right. Everything looks nice and straight. I like that Copus handle. You know, something that will not come out of your hand.
But the handle isn't really meant for humans to hold on to it.
I'm gonna touch it up a little.
Andy,
Pretty bold choices, going with the canister and then trying to double that canister up.
My weld came apart, so I only ended up using one of the canisters.
You pulled it off, but you were kind of making me cringe a little bit.
Yes.
Mike, you're up.
All right, so there was a fight going on out there.
Tooth and nail every second.
Was there ever a point that you thought, maybe I should just discard this and start over with new steel?
What's the risk? What's the reward?
I'm also concerned about the length of your blade. So let's see. Yeah, we're coming in at 8.5. We're a little shy.
You were given some problems, but you didn't quit. And for that, I say thank you for finishing the blade, sir.
Thank you.
Mike, sometimes abandon a piece that's not working and change your direction. Your blade is under length, so that's why we're letting you go.
Mike, it's time for you to surrender your weapon and leave the forge.
I'm obviously a little disheartened to have been eliminated. It was a great learning experience of my own limitations and my own damn headstrongness. Now I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna make that suit of armor so I can finally get around to the wedding.